Oh, wish they all were that easy. Man, a nice win from Gorgeous Package tonight, and then Casanova Hall. All night I was trying to figure out a way how to not come drive Casanova Hall because I knew the weather that was coming, and of course it started to rain pretty good just as we went on the track. Now I will say this, the mud just cakes in your eyes in the mile. It's not nice, but Northfield does have 2 big bottles of saline solution in the driver's room, which is helpful. Eyes aren't burning right out of my head right now, so it's whoever bought those and put them there, thank you very much, because they definitely help. So yeah, there's never easy racing, but I'll tell you what, when Gorgeous Package got off the car well tonight, and I knew that I got Peter in behind me, it bothered me a little bit, her getting beat on the front in Dayton. Now the horse had beat her fair and square, but for her to get used up hard, but that's how tough this little filly is. I gave her a super huge breather in the second quarter, and really, as I looked at the TV going by the half, the horse to beat was behind me. One of the other favorites was about to come first over. Ronnie Wren was going to be towed up second over. And as I got to hear everybody moving starting into the 5/8 pole, I could hear King Kaufman's at his filly right now, and I have a death grip on Package. And I look over, Ronnie Wren's kind of idling up second over. I still got Pete Wren right in behind me. I just felt that I just couldn't see a way that Pete's horse would out-sprint me down the lane, because I knew what kind of move this filly had, especially when she was saved up like that. Halfway down the backstretch, she wanted to get at it, and I just left her alone as long as I could, and when I cut her loose, she was all business. If you look, I really didn't call on her till a little earlier than midway through the last turn. We came the last quarter in 27-4, and I had her stopped for at least the first part of that last quarter. So a big kick in her last start, and who knows, man, the sky's the limit for this filly in 2025. She wears a head pole on the left, a real long hobble for a small filly, no boots, no nothing, no earplugs, nothing like that. She's just smart and really likes her work, and quite frankly, the way you want to put a horse away is the way we just did with Gorgeous Package for 2024, and she looked really good. Now, a lot of racing went on tonight. Today we're going to rewind all the way to the front of the day. What I'd said to Scotty and what I'd said to Eric was quite simply, if you can't show me a path to winning the final, then they're going to the field. There's no point in just racing them to race them, right? Just empty the tank more for no particular reason. Now, if you're like, well, they do have chances, which a couple of horses do. We'll talk about them in a minute. We'll talk about them all. But when it came to Westland Warrior, Scotty thought he raced good. He just doesn't think, the track was deep, and he said, listen, I can make excuses for the horse today, but do I see a path to him winning the final of the races at Corbin? No, I don't. He said, you might be able to put him in a maiden. Almost doing, Scotty already won a maiden. I don't need to have him come back with 2 wins on his card. We'll just put him away for 6 weeks right now. Just so that's exactly what we're going to do. And for my partners out there, I have zero interest in running him up the wood to finish 3rd, 4th, or 5th and just putting him away, a shell of the horse we hoped and a shell of the horse that we expected him to be. You know what? I'll tell you what he is. He's a 2-year-old with 1 lifetime win, a decent attitude. It's not a Father Patrick kind of, cranky, sour attitude, and his work ethic is in question. It's not that at all. I never felt that way once about Westland Warrior. Maybe is he as good as we thought? Maybe not. He's a good overnight horse, a good stake horse. Is he going to be a Stallion Series horse or a stake horse or a horse for Kentucky next year? Who knows? It's going to be a racehorse, though. The horse already trotted, 54, 55? Shows the last quarter at 27 and a piece. Let him grow up. Let him mature. There's no need to empty the tank just to snag a bone in the final. Say, we were 5th going for 100. Great. We made $5,000 and, sucked some of the life out of this horse. No, I'm just going to put him away. So that was his last start today. He's going to the field tomorrow, the next day. Now, for the rest of the group, Gymboree. Scotty said the track was too deep and she couldn't get through that first turn. He said she touched her outside knee. In this regard, Eric had some thoughts on the horses that are down there right now, and I agree with all of them, to be honest. I think he's bang on with everything he had said. He had said, well, knee boots or tape. I'd go to tape. My only connection, the reason I go to tape, I say tape their knees, is this. She never hit her knee all year. She trained down at Northfield Park. She qualified, and I believe raced, but definitely qualified either in Northfield and or the Meadows. I can't remember right now. Definitely Northfield for sure. Got down to Oak Grove, never hit her knee. Never hit her knee at the Red Mile. Then she goes to a deep track today, touches her knee and makes a break. Is it more likely that it was the track, or she just decided, hey, I wonder what it feels like to hit my knee? It's unlikely. So we'll tape her knee up for precautionary reasons. Now, Scott did say, if I can use her, I think she has a chance. Well, first thing I want to know, did she bleed? There was no vet there today, so Eric will take a look at her tomorrow. You may, I would hope you wouldn't see blood in her anywhere near her airway tomorrow, but you would see remnants, right? Airway would be inflamed. There might be a few dried up specks of blood in that windpipe area. Maybe that bifurcation is swollen up a little bit at the bottom of her airway. Who knows? Is there any signs that there was any sort of respiratory issue today, tomorrow? I would hope the answer would be no. Scotty had said, I wonder, do you think she'd, race with hobbles on? And say, of course she can. Just put them on her. What's she going to do, take them off? Of course she can race with them on. So we're going to put the hobbles on Gymboree, I believe. Now Eric has to check with the rules. Now, I believe the way it was explained when we'd asked about taking them off Grand Slam Dio, when I wanted to at the start, I believe taking them off was a little trickier. Putting them on, not so tricky, because that's actually helping their gait. Whereas, theoretically, if you take them off, show me you can trot without them, but you should be able to trot with them, is my understanding. That's how I took the rule, but it is very subjective to the judges. So Eric is going to talk to the stewards tomorrow about putting the hobbles on Gymboree. Now, these 2-year-olds, they don't race next week. They skip a week and go back. Gaslight Hall was good. I told everybody I trained him, and I trained him fast, very fast in Kentucky, which I think is pretty equatable to what he did today. I think he trotted 56 in a piece, 57 on a deep kind of pity track. I thought the horse raced okay. I'd like to see a little more from him. He is coming back in 2 weeks again, so we will probably train him up in between, get him looked at along the way. That second should be enough to get him into the final, so we don't have to rev him up or really screw him down tight for the second elimination. We're focused on the final with a good draw, with a good post. I think he's a player in that division. I did not watch the other race, but I suspect he is. And then Grand Slam Dio, Scott said she did race well. He said, I told him, I said, I think if he had stayed left and Dave Miller stays out, he goes, that's exactly what I thought. If Dave stays out, maybe the horse on the front drifts a bit, but I had a clear shot at them in the last turn, and then Dave come back down a bit, and I had to grab her, and when I did, I just had trouble getting her started back up. And Scotty has never warmed to Grand Slam Dio ever since the time she tried to kick him out of the job card here. But she is a nice filly, and she is getting better, and all indications are she's going to be a pretty nice sophomore, I believe anyway. And I think Scotty's warming to that idea too. I don't think he'd say, I think she's going to be a top filly. Nothing like that, but she is infinitely better now than she was when she left Northfield Park. I can assure you of that. I was very happy with her. So we left Corbin, the Mint at Cumberland Run today with a fourth of Westland Warrior, a break with Gymboree, a second with Gaslight Hall, and a third with Grand Slam Dio. Now, we went to Ohio. I knew it was going to rain a little bit. I was dreading the night, but gorgeous package. It was clearly going to be a nice race for her. I'm always worried about her. She did, remember way back when she made that break off the rail, and sometimes she would just scoot into the turn a little quick and lose herself, but she's so much smarter now too. I'll tell you the one thing that does bother her. She's scared of the pylons. So I have to remind myself mentally, just keep her an extra foot off the pylons. Don't get her near, don't get her close to them and jostle her. Just keep her mind on business. And as we come off the car, all I really had to do, everybody was kind of looking to see what we were going to do. She screamed off the car in Delaware, screamed off the car twice in Dayton. Everybody knows she can get off the car. She's 4 to 5. No one's leaving into me. Pete was going to leave into me. He was going to test me. But his horse looked a little revvy also. All I had to do was make sure he didn't get ahead of me in the first turn. And I was sure I could do one of two things. Cut him loose and remove, sit in behind him, or the third one would be what exactly happened was, it's a nice big spot there. away you go. And that's exactly what happened. Once I got him in there, then I just locked up the brakes and, really put a Snuggie on them for the first 5/8 of the mile. And really, I never really cut her loose until, a little more than an eighth or more of a mile, much less than a quarter of a mile. So an easy race for her tonight, whether it's a maiden or a stake race. They're never easy wins, but she certainly made it look and feel pretty easy tonight. A really, really nice little filly that we put away fresh as a daisy. Sunset Acres Girl, all I can say is I hope Donnie does not forget my strawberry rhubarb pies. You might not, maybe you don't get the inside joke. We sold Sunset Acres Girl back to the breeder. He's an Amishman. He owns a bakery. I told him I would sell him a mare for $7,000 plus two strawberry rhubarb pies. He thought momentarily I was joking. I was not. I expect my pies. Tuesday she'll be picked up and head back home to where it all began for her. A Michigan-bred trotting filly that was really good at 2, okay at 3, and ended up making just shy of $75,000, which is nothing to sneeze at for a horse coming from that state. She was trotting better tonight, but I mean, again, you're in a maiden. You're long odds from the rail. You can't really get a whole lot done. It was definitely the right move, put it that way. So, jeepers. Of course I'm tired. For all the right reasons is why she had to go. She does not fit what we're trying to do any longer. Racing horses at long odds, number one, is a no-no. Not being able to be a favorite in a maiden, obviously a no-no. So moved her along and ended up replacing her with what could be anything. A 2-year-old a yearling pacing filly by Captain Victorious out of Michigan. So happy to be going back there. I'm already trying to plan my trip to Ludington with Amy and the kids next summer. Might be a little more difficult as Oliver's baseball is a little more stringent next year. But we'll see. And then cap the night off. I had the utmost faith in Casanova Hall. It just didn't feel to me like it mattered where I got away. As long as he trotted, keep his confidence up, and let him out inch by inch. Don't ask him for any big speed. I felt very confident in his ability to get his work done tonight. I just wheeled him out first over and just sat and let him hunt. We come out of the last turn. I just called on him a little bit, tucked the whip away, and he drove away. He's going to be a nice horse for us. And I know a lot of people see some of the horses we buy, and I like to talk about immediate impacts and how horses can make, can make those when they first go into the barn, make some changes and hopefully improve them. It doesn't always work that way. And with a horse like Casanova Hall, it took a little time. And I told you, you couldn't just go to the far right of the spectrum and change all his shoes to this extreme amount and start. It's just not where you would start. Little by little, baby steps, and we ended up way over on the right side of the spectrum, I would say, as far as aggressive shoeing goes. But you can see his confidence growing now. Before, he was really hot at the gate. He would get out of gear, make a break, come back trotting, go a big mile. But there was just that it was like lightning in a bottle, right? He was not comfortable, not confident, not safe as far as his gait goes. And now he's slowly rounding into this measured, smart, methodical, confident animal. And that confidence, as it grows, you're going to see him get faster and faster and faster. And he'll get back to that flashpoint of speed that he had, but he'll do it in a much more proper and as I said, measured manner. And he's going to be a nice horse for us for quite a while. I think you're going to see him get better. The thing I love about him, he's got a big set of lungs, he can take a lot of air, and he keeps coming. And I love that about the horse. So we just have to manage him properly. As I said, tonight I was supremely confident, especially when I didn't know the horses that well, but the favorite other than myself was on the run leaving the gate. I just felt that I was in no danger at any time, and I thought the horse looked in the bike how he probably did on TV. Very, very comfortable, and I was super, super happy with him. So a good day at the office. Warrior's going to head to the field for probably 6 weeks, I would imagine. Gymboree, We're going to scope her first. I don't think we're going to find a whole lot there, which is fine. I think we're going to add some knee tape for 2 weeks from today. We're going to maybe add some hobbles to her if Scotty wants to see how she is confidence-wise. I certainly have no problem doing that. Gaslight Hall was good also. I'm going to go a little easier on him over the next 2 weeks because he's already in the final. Now it's about management. We want him comfortable, sharp, and feeling good. And that's a hard thing to do. Eric and Kathy are going to have to work hard on this guy because he's not the soundest horse, but he tries. He wants to go there, and I don't want to push him over the edge to the point now he doesn't like his job. I would like to put him away with him looking to come back in 2025, and that's not an easy thing to do for a horse with some issues. So that's the plan for him. Nice, easy 2 weeks. We don't have to drill down hard on him. Make sure he's ready to go comfortably, sound-wise for his next start, and then for the final, hopefully we can get all the marbles, and that's the plan with Gaslight Hall. Grand Slam Dio, again, just keeps getting better every week. I just would love to see her take a really nice 2-year-old mark, so that would be hopeful for Grand Slam Dio. She's got leg 2, and then the final, and that'll be it for her for the year. Gorgeous Package went out a winner, just looked fantastic tonight. Sunset Acres Girl went out. she's out. She's gone. And then Casanova all just looked awesome. Now tomorrow we have 4 starters on the calendar, but only 3 going to post. Arson is picked to win, I believe, tomorrow from the inside with Todd McCarthy. Memory and Imagination is scratched. He's actually in the field right now. I'm going to give him 3 weeks off. Did not love the way he trained the other day. Just felt lethargic. We scoped him. There was nothing there. What are you going to do? There's 2 things. You can draw his blood. It doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to fix it before Monday. I'm not going to put him on a truck, ship him all the way down there to Lexington, then ship him all the way to Corbin, and have the 6-hole in a 6-horse field with some real sharks in there. Thanks anyway. I'll pay the starting fee, and he can just go out to the field and relax for 3 weeks. This horse is going to do us a lot of good throughout the fall into the winter. I think this is a real quality animal, and just going to give him a couple weeks off, 2-3 weeks off. Looks like Money Yo Mister tomorrow. And then we start the rest of our week. So that is it. Oh, I'm so glad I had that saline there. You have no idea how much that track can burn the eyes out of you. Be able to sleep a lot better now, I can tell you that. So I'm going to go in and get to bed. Tomorrow's a new day. For those of you who maybe don't know, Memento Mori is here. I'm going to train him tomorrow. Hopefully they have the track good around 10. I'm going to train him tomorrow. And then at some point, both him and Time Is On My Side are going to head towards New Jersey for the Breeders' Crown this week. Friday night, Memento Mori. Saturday night, we'll have both Tactical Mounts and Time Is On My Side racing. Now, speaking of Time Is On My Side, I guess tomorrow I'm going to send her a note. We do have a client that is looking to sell a few shares of Time Is On My Side. Obviously, wants to take what is an opportunity for them, which would be having Time Is On My Side racing the Breeders' Crown. Sell some of their shares and maybe roll that into babies. I don't blame them. I would do the same thing if I was them. So what you might see is a note go tomorrow. They haven't made their mind up. I don't know. But you might see a note go tomorrow with an offering of some shares of Time Is On My Side. I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, but I thought I would drop that little nugget in the water for everybody. Also, if you're out there and you want to be a part of the Breeders' Crown, not very often you can. And this might be an opportunity you will. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. But most importantly, I hope my Canadian partners had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Thanksgiving's coming soon in the U.S. I just hope you had a great weekend overall. I did. Weather, I don't care. The weather was muddy, but nevertheless, it worked out well, and I'm glad we could get to the winner's circle a couple of times tonight, and hopefully more times this week. Take care.